Welcome to Module 13, Lesson 1. Our I can statement is, I can identify, draw, and name angles. So we are going to be working on some new geometry skills today. Number 1. Star charts use points, lines, line segments, rays, and angles to help the user identify constellations in the night sky. Without these, the constellations will be more difficult to find. An understanding of these terms will help when reading a star chart. Letter A asks us to circle the line segment. So we have three options here. This, and this. This doesn't have a line in it, it's just a point. Here we have 2 points and an arrow leading that way. And here we have 2 points. This is our line segment because it has 2 endpoints. And now let's look at letter B. Here we have 2 endpoints and 2 arrows. There are 2 points. 2 points and 1 arrow and 2 endpoints. We need to circle the ray. This is our ray. A ray has, because it has 1 endpoint, right? A ray will have 1 endpoint. A line segment has 2. Here we have an angle. Okay, if it was extending in both sections, then we would have our line. So let's go ahead and do letter C now and match up our vocabulary. Okay, so we just found a line segment in that first question. So find the definition of a line segment. Right, a line segment is a part of a line that has 2 endpoints. So it's a segment, right? A part of a line. All right, what about an angle? An angle is formed by 2 line segments or rays that share the same endpoint, or by 2 lines that cross at one point. So a line segment will look like that, right? And an angle looks like that. And sometimes it's formed by 2 rays, sometimes 2 line segments, and sometimes 2 intersecting lines. Okay, so now let's define a ray. Right? We already saw a picture of a ray. Okay, it's another example of a part of a line, but this time it has 1 endpoint and continues without an end in one direction. All right, so what is a point? A point is just the exact location in space, right? So we had that in that first one. We can find points along a line. Oops. There we go. All right, so let's find a line is a straight path of points that continues without an end in both directions. And finally, an endpoint is our last one. And it is the point at either end of a line segment or the starting point of a ray. Okay, let's take a look at number 2. Nate draws a star chart for part of the constellation Libra on a piece of paper representing the plane. A plane is a flat surface that extends without end in all directions. Draw and label a point, a line segment, and an angle from Nate's star chart. So for our point, we can pick any of these points. Each point is labeled with a letter. I'm just going to pick point L. Okay, so there we have it. Point L. Now we also need to find a line segment. I'm going to pick this line segment here. So I label with its 2 endpoints, S, A. Now to name it, we name its 2 points. And we draw our line over it. And finally, we need an angle. I'm going to pick this angle here. R, B, I. And I will label that angle RBI. Okay, so this little symbol shows angle. This shows a line segment. And then for point, we just use the word. All right, go ahead and complete the check understanding. Press pause and press play when you're ready to check your work. All right, let's go ahead and check your work. Here I have a point of N. You could also have a point of E, W, S, or C. Here is my line from north to south because it has these arrows continuing. You didn't know it doesn't have an end point. In order to label that, I have to have the arrows here as well. And for my ray, I chose C to E. Okay, and you'll notice that I don't have an arrow here, just an arrow extending towards E. An angle I could have named was NCE. You could have also named ECS, SCW, WCN. But notice C has to be that middle point on your angle.